All right, how's it going, everybody? Today's February 2nd, 2023. Um, there's my cat. Um, so this is partially an update video and partially an informative video for anyone interested in depression and depersonalization. Um, I have both of them, although I guess this one, my channel tends to lean more toward depersonalization. So I'll be talking, primarily in the context of depersonalization, but of course the two are, I believe the term is comorbid. They kind of go hand in hand and feed off of each other. So I think the last video I made, I was talking about how my depersonalization was going away, and I emphasized the importance of addressing your needs as a person through the lens of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So basically, the idea is that when your needs are unmet, you are more stressed out as a person, and some of us, with kind of the, I guess, precondition, I don't know if that's even a word, but if your brain, your anatomy or whatever is set up to go into depersonalization and have the disorder, some of us are going to fall into that state, and that includes myself. And so these are going to be some ways that you can help yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to reiterate one more time. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is very relevant. You have to address the problems that afflict you. So for me, I am lonely and poor, and that's that's a lot of people. But so primarily you have to, speaking to myself, I have to prioritize gaining status financially, or just status in general, as that does affect kind of your perception of self in the scope of Maslow's hierarchy, or I need to address the loneliness problem. But either way, those fall under the category of Maslow's hierarchy, and I have to prioritize those problems. So within that theory, energy plays a huge role. We all have, some set amount of energy every day, and depending on how you use that energy is going to affect the results in your life. And so another factor is that if you are depressed, you have less energy, and if you are depersonalized, you likely are burning energy at a high rate all day, every day, because you are likely very stuck in your head and you're just worried about things. And unfortunately, this becomes a vicious cycle where you are spending all day worried about things in your head, and you're also becoming more and more tired, and therefore you also get less results in real life. So if you're tired all the time, you're constantly putting your worst self to the, facing the world. And so you're going to make less money. You're going to have less friends because you're just not as great of a person as you could be. And so what we need to do is address the energy problem within you, or what I'm doing to address it within me. I do want to acknowledge that this doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. There could be aspects of depersonalization and depression I don't know about, but within my theory of depersonalization and depression, looking at my own life, these are the things that have had the biggest impact. So I've said a lot of things, so I'm going to take another moment to recap. Basically, the goal to get you out of depression and depersonalization, the way to get there is through improving your life, one step at a time, climbing Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So in order to do that, You need to conserve your energy and spend it in a very selective manner. And when you have mental health problems, you are burning energy at a high rate, and it will affect your results in life because you're always tired. Okay, so now let's talk about preserving energy and prioritizing rest, because that's very important. So if so I'm not a huge advocate of like meditation just for the sake of meditation, but meditation can be used to basically manually turn on your parasympathetic nervous system. That's how I use it. I don't spend a lot of time just like sitting with my eyes closed or listening to Headspace or anything. I don't find that to be particularly helpful, but meditation can again put you into a state of relaxation, which you should try to maintain. So another problem with being depersonalized is that you have a very hard time relaxing because your brain is constantly hypervigilant. And so you have to go against what you feel naturally inclined to do, and you have to manually turn on your parasympathetic nervous system. And it's going to be very inefficient. At least this is how my journey has been. It's been very inefficient because it's so hard for me to relax because I'm always worried about the results in my life. So anyway, one thing that I've done is prioritize rest, and furthermore, I've created a schedule to where I say after 8 p.m., my sleep schedule is 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. currently. So basically after a certain point in the day, I'm just not allowed to worry. I spend whatever energy I have left managing my kind of mental state by making sure I stay relaxed. So that's watching movies, watching shows, eating food I like, and just laying in bed. Now, that is a pretty sad existence that I spend so much time in my bed, but it is a necessary step to getting out of this state. And not only that, but any extra time I have where I'm not being productive, or I don't want to be productive, I do spend resting, and I recommend you do the same. So, again, at night after a certain time, I'm not allowed to worry. I force myself to say, I'm going to rest, I'm going to watch shows, and I'm going to be as present as I can and not exist in my head. I'm going to consciously live in the world around me. I'm going to acknowledge how my hands feel, my legs feel in my bed. What can I see? Can I feel more connected to my surroundings? And that is alone, that is good for depersonalization, to spend more time in your surroundings and feeling safe. But it's also, more importantly, giving you ample time to recover energy. And you're also not spending much energy. So the next thing is avoid overspending your energy. So I like to play a game called Super Smash Bros. Melee, and that is a fairly energy intensive game. If you're playing competitively, it's a lot of inputs. And one mistake that I've made for many years is that since I love playing so much, I would play for a long time and many hours on end. And so I'm already low on energy, and then I spend all of my extra energy on this game, and then I'll just be completely exhausted the rest, after spending all of that energy. And so what I've done is say, okay, ideally I would play not at all, but if I'm going to play, I cap it at like 1 or 2 hours. So maybe I don't even know. Another example is just working out. Working out is great for you. It's great for your mental health, but when you are struggling with depersonalization and you have no energy, working out too much can be detrimental. So I've limited my workouts to 3 workouts a week. And so this is an example of limiting, or rather avoiding spending too much energy on things that don't really move the needle in terms of helping your condition. And so I do recommend you work out, but I don't want you to overspend your energy. So basically what you have to do is figure out, how much if you really want to work out, you have to figure out how much can you work out and still be functional. And maybe you have to sacrifice spending energy in other ways, maybe I just can't even think of any examples of things people do. Maybe you go out to the bar or something too much, and socializing and hearing loud music is draining your energy, and maybe you have to sacrifice that for a while until you can improve your condition. But just whatever it is that you do, you have to kind of audit your life and see where are you spending too much energy. If you're always, and this is just given the kind of presupposition, if that's the right word, but the condition that you are overspending energy and you are tired like I am. Okay, and then kind of the last tenet is prioritize rest, which, this is not surprising considering everything I've talked about, but again, we are cutting out wasteful spending of energy, but you also have to prioritize rest. So like I said, after 8 p.m., I have to be in bed, relaxing, forcing myself to relax. And I've also implemented a sleep schedule that allows me for an extra hour of sleep, which has been helping. So again, this is not to say again, rather, another condition of having mental health problems is oftentimes you sleep very poorly, which I do. And so I think it's beneficial to find an extra hour, if you can afford it, to sleep more. So I sleep for 9 hours a night lately, and I've been feeling more energy in general. It's been good for me, and I recommend you consider doing the same. So one last note is that is kind of combining two things that I've been talking about. So one of them is, like I said, after 8 p.m., I am not allowed to stress or anything. And also combining that with the meditative state that I was talking about earlier. So basically, your job, the way I treat it is my job is to, I call it idling my brain, because I have such a hard time relaxing. My only job after a certain time in the day is to relax and make sure I'm idling my brain. So that means that once again, your consciousness or your awareness is not in your head in these thoughts and these abstract thoughts about these worries about the world, about the future, the past, anything. Basically, I just say I'm not allowed to burn any mental energy. So basically, I just am every 5 seconds. It's quite tedious, but it's worth it. Every 5 seconds or so, I'm bringing my consciousness back to the moment, my awareness back to the moment. And if you need to meditate in order to do this, maybe you need to meditate for a while before you're good at this. I just call it idling my brain, and I say I have to idle my brain basically as much as possible, because the funny thing is that's how normal people live. They're not always stressed out, and they're not always in their head worried about complex situations. That's not a normal way to live, but it is normal if you have depersonalization and depression and whatever other mental health problems. So basically, this can all be summed up by what I said in the beginning, which is our goal is to get our energy back so that we can improve our lives and live a life that is kind of moving forward and makes us happy. And so the best way to do that is to manage all of your energy and the ways you spend your energy. So don't work out a ton. I know personally in the past I've been like addicted to working out because sometimes I could get relief if I had a really tough workout where I felt good about myself, but unfortunately that it's still a net loss in my opinion if you're working out like 6 days a week really hard. Sure, maybe you'll make progress with your body, but I mean, the only way that would make sense is if your depersonalization is caused by having extreme, how do you say, like insecurities about your body. If you have extreme insecurities about your body, maybe you should invest a lot of time about, improving your body composition. But in general, working out and, tough workouts where you're lifting a ton of weight, doing a bunch of volume, or running really hard, these are not good for depersonalization. You need to prioritize rest. Unless you very specifically have depersonalization and depression caused by just your body. If everything else in your life is in order, good job, good relationship, but you're just so embarrassed and it causes you so much anguish because you're really overweight, okay, maybe that's the only exception where you should spend a lot of time fixing your body. But in general, the priority is conserving energy, spending it where it matters. Maybe that means you have to start a business. I know that's not most people. Most people don't want to start a business. Maybe it's I don't know. It's everyone's different. Everyone has their different stressors, but you have to prioritize letting your brain relax and feeling okay. That's kind of the gist of depersonalization, is that it's a stress response. So you have to get rid of the stress, however that looks, and oftentimes I believe that can be fixed by introducing an energy protocol that will keep your energy levels higher than maybe they currently are. So I know that was a lot of talking, but these are kind of the conclusions I've come to in the last, let's just say, several months, maybe 6 months, I don't know. However long it's been since my last video, these are the things that I'm currently prioritizing, and I feel improved. I'm not better, so just so everyone knows, I'm far from completely healed, but this is a lifestyle that I can continue to live and improve upon, and I believe that as long as I keep regaining my own energy and continuing to sleep slightly better, like every week that goes by over the last 3 weeks that I've been kind of working on this theory or protocol, I continue to improve slightly. So I am hoping that this will continue, and I guess I'll just let you guys know. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Hopefully people are finding their own ways to improve. If you do have your own ways to improve that are different, I'll gladly check out what you have to say. So best of luck, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys later.